Actually,
well, hello world. This is Edward Bevilacqua. We're here at WellCare for graduation for February, and this is a novum-u job training program at WellCare. Very proud to be here once again, and we have a bunch of people graduating. Why are you mad on me?
actually.
Okay. So this is live on YouTube for the whole world, and I've been told there's 1 million people watching. Name 3. Can somebody name 3 people? Well, there's 1 million people watching. Name 3 of them.
Joe.
Okay.
Joe, Bob, and George.
Okay, so we might cut that part out. But so we're going to do our graduation as we usually do, and then we're going to celebrate afterwards. And everybody's going to get a chance to talk about, come up here and say whatever they feel about the program and their experience in the future and their past or whatever. And what happened to Janine?
She has to get her medication.
Okay, so maybe Janine will be here, who graduated a couple weeks ago, and maybe Andrew will come back up and say something inspiring. Michael Jordan did 2 classes today up at Southern Desert, so he's kind of tired, and it's a long drive from Southern Desert to here, so he won't do his eloquent closing, but maybe Scott can. Now, first, I also want to acknowledge that we have 3 people in here today who were in the program a year ago in a different place. Glenn, Alex, and Scott. So that's kind of cool. Well, it is kind of cool to see people back because, it means that they see value in it. So that's kind of good. So I want to acknowledge you guys being here. So today, an interesting thing happened, or this week, we went live at Florence McClure. We have 20 women there now and 40 men at Southern Desert, and about 10 people at Casa Grande, and we have about 20 people here and about almost 20 people in Reno. So we have over 100 students in the program now. So that's kind of good. And so this morning I had a meeting with the principals of WellCare, and we went through the numbers, and they have made a decision that we are very quickly going to move into that space next door, and we're going to be doing 60 people per day. We're going to really ramp this thing up.
Outstanding.
And so what does that mean for people here? It means possible jobs for people here, because there's a lot of stuff to be done. And so that's going to push us up closer to 200, and we're expecting next month Florence McClure is going to be at 40 students. So good things are happening, and they're happening because of our students. We're just here to help you, and we can only do well because you're doing well. And then I also want to acknowledge Lauren, the invisible person back there. Who has the hard job? Who has the hard job? So she has to get the employers. She's out looking for employers and gets employers and keeps employers on board for you, so that when you finish this, you have a place to go start as a foundational job, and also is instrumental in the housing. So, so I'm very proud and humbled to be here today doing this graduation. So, what are we doing? What is our program? Donald, what's our purpose for being here?
Be successful.
Okay, that's your purpose. So our purpose is to help you become successful, and we do that by a pretty rigorous training program that is to prepare people for work. And one of the things I had to deal with today was answering some questions about from some of the WellCare staff. They were, reasonable questions, but it was, are we too tough? Is this too tough on people here? Should we be more sensitive or be more on the side of helping people with their social, other things, not their work skills? And it kind of came down to, with the numbers that we're getting, it's about getting people employed. And, so starting, next week, we're going to do a little different curriculum, but we're going to really kind of make it clear to people that, you have to understand what people out there want, what employers are looking for. And, the bottom line is they care about themselves. They're going to give you a chance, but they're not there to suit your needs. And we have to prepare you for that in here. When you're playing competitive sports, the week's worth of practice is supposed to prepare you for the game. And the game is supposed to be easier than the practice. It's not supposed to be the other way around. It's not that we're supposed to coddle you and then you get into a job and you're unprepared. I'm hoping that when Andrew gets up here, he might say that because of the rigorousness of what we do, he is excelling at work. It takes talent. We don't deserve a lot of credit, but hopefully Andrew can confirm that if that kind of the rigorousness of this. And you might remember our circle with the VUM inside, right? So what does that mean?
No.
Yeah, which means what?
Volatility, uncertainty, mediocrity.
Yeah, no volatility, no uncertainty, and no mediocrity. We don't do mediocre. Some people aren't able to make the cut. So that should make other people feel good. When I was growing up playing competitive sports into college, the attitude wasn't, well, he's a nice guy, we got to keep him on the team. It doesn't matter whether we lose. It was, we want to win. It's fun when you win, right? Winning is fun. It kind of sucks to lose. And so that's what we do. And we did get, after we went through it, we got the support of WellCare management, the principles of WellCare, to be like, you know what, this is supposed to be job preparation. People need to get ready for work. Because when it comes time to get up in the morning, guess who's not going to be there? Well, certainly I'm not going to be there, but your mom or somebody else. The employer's not going to call you and wake you up in the morning and say, hey, remember, you need to be at work in 2 hours. Can you get me ready? I'll pick you up. You want me to call an Uber for you? They're not going to do that. That's your job. They're giving everybody an opportunity. And so we want it to set a higher standard than you're going to have at work. And if you can meet our standard, you're going to be successful at that foundational job, and then we can take you to the next level. And I think the people that are here today, looking around, okay, you too, that, we've got a good bunch of people, and we want you to be part of this program. We want you to feel part of it. So just a little history of the school. The school was started, has its roots back to 1989 in Southern California, where the founder, named Dale Larson, wanted to create a school to do what? Anybody remember?
Help parents get school.
Yeah, enable parents to be able to buy tennis shoes for their kids. That was the purpose. And over the years, it grew to be pretty big in Southern California, mainly with injured postal workers, TSA workers, military people with minor PTSD, or physical handicaps, disabilities, and unemployed people. But in 2011, we decided we wanted to really focus on the people who needed help the most. and that was people coming out of prison, people in prison. And so we came out here, and in 2013, Tony Shea from Zappos gave us the opportunity to have a classroom inside of his learning village, which is on Fremont and 7th Street, Fremont and 8th, near the Western Hotel. And so he provided us a campus down there, and we did very well. And then we had the opportunity to actually put a classroom inside of a prison. So instead of having people from the prison come to the classroom, we got to put a classroom inside of the prison. And then we went inside of the jail, and that's where some of the people in here, 3 of the people in here, started the program. And that was good, except those people weren't really ready. Can you agree with that? I mean, the people who are here, that people in jail are not quite the same as people coming out of prison. Would you say that, Scott?
Copy that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so our people up at Southern Desert, these are guys that have done, these are medium custody people, not minimum custody. So they're medium custody people that have been there. 3 guys have been there for about 20 years, and they're going to be getting out. And these are guys like in their early 40s, young guys. One guy's like 38, and he's done about 20 years. So, but they are really focused on making a life for themselves when they get out, having meaning and purpose, but they don't have any tools. Because what kind of tools can you have if you've been in prison for 20 years and you're 40 years old?
0.
Yeah. No, because whatever you did that got you in there, it's not like you're going to Stanford one day and then you ended up in prison. You know, that was just kind of a continuation of your life. So, but these guys are motivated. And so that's what has been our mission, is to get to serve those people. And then fortunately, we came together with WellCare, and we are supporting their efforts. This is not our program. This is the WellCare program that we're fortunate enough to teach at. And it's called what? What's it called? Smart Start? Yeah. So this is what is being branded as the WellCare Smart Start program. And you guys are, the beginning first, not really the first group, but you're at the beginning of that process. So our mission is to have 300 classrooms around the country by 12/31/2020. And right now we have 5 or 6, and then we're going to be doing a couple more in northern Nevada, and then fill in the rest of them down here, and then other states. And we're going to do that. We want to offer everybody here the opportunity to help us do that and be part of it. So we can't do it without you, and we are, but our focus is to help you have money plus meaning and purpose in your life. That's what our goal is. Not just get you a job, not get you not reunite you with your family and get you a manual labor job. For us, that's kind of a different type of life sentence. Nolan's thing is, we need to prepare you for the next 5 years when everything is going to be changing in terms of technology. And there's huge opportunities for everyone in that. That's what we want to prepare you for. And then with WellCare, you can they'll help you with your families, etc. So that's what we do. That's why we do it. That's why you're important. The staff we have makes it possible, and the people here who help us become a better school. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand out the diplomas, and before I do, it's not like a typical graduation ceremony where I'm just going to call your name and you come up and do it. But what I do is talk a little bit about how you make the school a better school, how you help make this a better school. So, all right. So the first person we have is Glenn Pulliam. So, hold on a second. So Glenn is one of those guys over there working, was in the program when? Originally?
April of 18.
Almost a year ago, about 10 months ago. And when he came here, he still had his notebooks or book? Okay, his notebook from before. And I've seen him look at it, and you turn it in sometimes, right? Okay. And so, so Glenn was a guy, and I remember when he was in class at CCDC, that Glenn was on top of things, sharp. And my recollection is you said, I have some things to do and then I'll come in, right? Which he actually did. It's just a little bit longer than we thought. So, but Glenn is the guy that's over there who's just doing his job. I think Lauren has a job, an interview arranged for Glenn. Do you know about that? Okay. And you know, these are foundational jobs, guys. This is not your career. This is a start, something you can do well. And as soon as you are ready, you know, it's not just when you think you're ready, but as soon as you are actually ready to go to the next stage. And if you're in stage 2, that's designed to be a 90-day period where at the end of the 90 days, the last like 30 days, you figure out what is it you really want to do for your career? What are you going to have? What do you want to do that you're going to have passion to do? You know, as we learned yesterday in the hero's journey, follow your bliss, right? What is the thing that's going to get you to follow your bliss? We want it to be like Nolan, where when I call Nolan up, you know, very quickly in the conversation, I will say, Nolan, how many jobs do you have now? And he'll chuckle and he'll say, I don't know, 7 jobs. I have 7 jobs. I'm 75 years old. I have 7 jobs, but I love them so much I can't not do any of them, because he doesn't do work that he doesn't like. And that's what we want to get everybody in at the end of stage 2. So again, Glenn has made the school better by being a guy who was in it, who came back, who's focused, who's doing every day. He's just doing his stuff. He's taking his notes and he's helping other people. I saw yesterday he came up and helped Ron, or not Ron, Harmon. And so Glenn, please come up. So here's Glenn's certificate. Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you, sir. I guess I'll take a few moments to say something about the program. Like the director said, I was in CCDC for like 6 months. I had like 5 weeks left before I was exiting, you know, getting released. And I saw the flyer they had up, and they were starting a computer class, and I wanted to get some computer skills, because I knew I was way behind with that. I didn't even know how to really log on and get to the different headings and so forth. I learned that in this class. I learned it in CCDC, and I got better at it along with the typing here. This is a very short 4 weeks. It really is. I get a lot of information and a lot of things that I try to implement in my daily life. With the sayings and so forth, because when I first left CCDC, I was not connected like I learned here. I didn't even see Jovan Hari, was it? About connection. I saw it, but I didn't take it in. You know what I'm saying? At this time, I got all of it. And my past year of experience being unconnected with everybody, including my family, being isolated, seeing it again really struck me. And it really made a difference in what I'm doing today. You know, I talk about it on the phone every day. I mention it to my family members. I mention it to friends. I mention it to other tribal members when we're out smoking a cigarette or whatever happens, right? Just so I can retain it, remember it, and live it. So these are very good tools that you're getting, that I'm getting. I'm still hungry. It's just the beginning. I can't wait for the next phase. I'm excited about it. I'm self-motivated, and I really needed this program. I really needed this program. I was homeless when I left CCDC. I wasn't at first, but I became homeless, and that made me even more disconnected of what I was supposed to do. I haven't been to school in 25 years. I played football in college. I went to school in Texas, and it's been since '84 through '86. And I have a little knowledge, but that does not even pertain to what's going on today. When they say technology and things like that, it's not, it didn't get me to this point, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But what I'm learning today is far beyond what I learned back then. Okay, so this is really good knowledge that we're getting. I just hope you guys stay with it. You know, it's gonna go fast, so just try to retain it all you can. Keep it in your books. I got 2 of them. All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Wow, wasn't expecting that. So, thank you, Glenn. And the envelope goes to
Big dog.
Donald.
Oh.
So,
Why you look at me?
because Keon, Kenya, you make me happy. So,
My pleasure.
Donald, I think everybody agree, Donald is the guy, he's kind of like in the center of the classroom, has a good positive disposition. When you weren't here for a day or two, everybody missed you. It was kind of a thing. And like, is Donald coming back? And you know, Donald has a positive disposition, he participates, he's involved, he helps other people. And, you know, that's what it takes to have a good school. It's people who help us, like Dawn, Glenn, helping us get other people to do their best or to not quit just because it doesn't feel good. So, Dawn, why don't you come up? You certainly earned this. Congratulations.
Yay. I don't have much to say besides I like to thank the people who have helped me to keep going when I wanted to quit. When I first started, I wasn't up to par on any of the typing or any of the going to different pages and any of that. I was well behind. I went to college. I spent a couple years in college, but that was 2007, 2008, and you fall behind a lot. So for the people that's still in here, stick with it. It's worth it. Everybody knows that anything that's hard or anything that's difficult, it might, work out in the end to be well worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to thank the director for keeping me positive because he's always positive. I'd like to thank Lauren. She's a soldier. She's a true soldier. She works really hard and fast. When she works something, she works hard and fast. So thank you, Lauren. And thanks everybody for being here and being nice, being cordial. We like to have fun, but this stuff can get hard. It can get you down sometime with all the notes and all the reading and stuff. Sometimes it seems like there's no way out, but just keep fighting and get you your diploma.
Good job. Thank you, Donald.
The big dog. Go ahead. I'll save you for last.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll pull another card. Armando Cabrera. Armando Jr. So, Armando, what? Well, hold on. Armando was one of the guys that I think everybody would agree was kind of a spoiler. Because when he came in, didn't really look like he was going to do a lot, but almost every day has a really good answer, or he picked up key points from the TED Talks, and yesterday when we're doing the hero's journey, Armando was just right in there, right at the front of the pack, and of course Keon Kenya had some good points too, but Armando really surprised me. I would say my hunch is if we look at the work product on Fridays, that you're right up there. You're just right up there. And so I think the next stage is going to be great. Do we have something lined up for Armando? Okay, good. So something's lined up for you. So Armando has made the school better by being a guy that came in and actually surprised me. So that made me have to be even further ahead because I can only go as fast as our people. And Armando was there helping, positive attitude every day. You didn't miss a day, right? Or did you?
I missed one day.
Okay, missed one day. So, just great job. Glad that you made it. And good colors too. That's the school colors.
I wasn't expecting this, so I just want to say that this class is it definitely has given me a lot of tools, a lot of new tools. It's sharpened me up on some tools, but it's given me a lot that I'm going to be able to use going forward. I want to thank the director, Lauren, and anyone else who's back. Who else is back there? Troy, Janine, everyone who's helped out. The class is great. Like Donald said, if you feel like you want to give up, because I definitely felt that way also, the whole note-taking thing and all that. But once you get into the groove and people help you out, it's really worth it to stick it out. So thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. Ron. Okay, so when this class started, well, let me say it this way. The class that Arthur was in and Andrew was in, and Troy, not really Janine, because she was in the other class. Yeah. That class was really, really good. And so this class started, and it was kind of like, I don't know if we were just used to it, but it seemed like, we don't really have any bright shining lights. But Glenn, Dawn, Armando, and Ron, also, Ron was really, and can you?
That was the man dog stare right there.
Okay. But again, Ron sitting up there every day, prepared, doing his stuff, but you missed a couple days, like this week, right?
I thought I was done with class.
Okay, well, we'll hear about that in a second when you come up here. But, just here every day, doing his work, a little bit older than most of the people, so probably a little bit further behind in terms of computer stuff. I don't know, maybe. But, we became better because Ron was part of a good group last month. You were really, like we called that murderer's row. And then there was Janine. So the Ron was there. He did his job. He was on point all the time. Has good comments. Was very good yesterday also in the hero's journey. And so Ron, please come up.
Thank you. So, I wanted to quit every day. No one knows, but I can barely read and can barely write. I have hyperdyslexia. So each and every day was an extreme struggle for me, and I really didn't want to come back, and I had to fight every time the band came to get on that son of a gun.
Congratulations.
So if I can do this, then all the new guys can stick with it and do it as well. So I just want to thank Lauren and the director and everyone else, Janine, for making it possible for me to come in here and make myself better. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, what about your foot? What's the story with your foot? Because that's also something that would be holding you back, right?
Yes, it's holding me back, but I came anyway.
Another excuse to not come.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I can't work because maybe my foot's holding me back, but I got to get it done sometime. So I figure I might as well get it done now. So, yeah. And I thought I had stopped the class because I thought I was doing very poorly. So I stopped on Monday because I had done my 20 classes, and I just figured I wouldn't come back. But, I hear the director had asked about me, so it prompted me to get my ass up here. That's what I did. So thank you.
Well, you were missed also.
Thank you.
And, okay.
God, he's blessing. Who else is it? Somebody else next. It's the last one.
Armando Sanchez. Armando Senior, as we call him. So you started before Armando Junior. Yeah, like a couple days?
Yeah, probably about a week.
Oh, really? Okay. So Armando was a guy who, you know, is the person probably, I don't know, quite quiet, right? And I think he, you know, didn't volunteer a lot, but he's between Donald and Armando. And I think that maybe encouraged you to participate more, that you felt good about doing that. And my hunch is that you really learned a lot from being in here. You know, that, you know, unlike some of the other stories like Glenn's story and Don's story, that, you know, that you really showed motivation. You're one of the dependable guys to show up. You're here, you're doing your job, getting ready, moving forward. And so, you know, I know that I make it look easy what I do, but it's actually hard. And when there are people who are helping just by doing their job, that makes it my job a lot easier. So Armando, you really helped me do as good as I could do to help me do my best. So thank you. Please come up.
Hey, Armando.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. I just want to say 6 things. Thank you to the director, Lauren, my mom, my classmates, and the people that helped me keep on pushing. It's for you guys.
I know.
Wind it down, big baby. Let's go.
Henry Matthews.
You say what?
Hank, come on up. Okay, just hold on over there a second, because I have to give you your due, the respect that you deserve. So Hank is sort of kind of like the other side from Armando, where Armando was always easy, just do stuff. I don't think you complained about anything, did you?
No, not at all.
Yeah. And Hank, not really complaining about the class, but just kind of like life, right?
Very much.
A lot of complaints about life, but not, and I'm not saying that they're not reasonable complaints, but, you know, but Hank, to his credit, showed up where Ron was the silent sufferer, but nobody knew. I couldn't tell that you couldn't read and write. I had no idea. Did you guys know when you're going through his book? A little bit? Okay. But, huh?
You can see the effort, you can see the actually got a lot better too.
Did you notice in your book how you got better?
Yes.
Okay. So it works, people. It works. So Hank, knowing that Hank has had these challenges, one time he talked about his last job and how that ended, and it was like, okay, I get it. And so it was a challenge for us, meaning staff, to kind of try to push Hank out of that place that he was, that was causing him to be where he was. You know, this, you know, the thing that we're talking about with the hero's journey is because it was easy, you know, from up here and going back there and talking to him when his computer didn't work and the internet was broken, that type of stuff, that, you know, keep, you know, as Jordan Peterson says, you know, dancing on the edge, right? Pushing Hank to kind of be more malleable, but push him as much as we could because, you know, there's a, you know, Hank has a level of passion that a lot of people don't have. You know, we had people in here that aren't here now that their attitude was like they just didn't really care. I mean, we can't really say that about Hank. You know, in fact, in some ways, he cared too much about some things that there's not really reason to care about, right?
Pretty much.
And so Hank helped us be a better school because this was an opportunity to push somebody who is kind of a tough, you know, he's, you know, wears a cowboy hat, boots, right? And kind of a cowboy looking guy. So, you know, one of the things that I've said before is, you know, you got to just cowboy up. And so this was the opportunity to test how far we could cowboy up Hank. And Hank has been a good sport. I don't think I broke you once, right?
Nope.
Um,
You opened my eyes up.
okay, so come on up, Hank. Thank you.
Thank you. I gotta say, like the director said, I was pretty much like a mule.
There you go.
Sorry. And I didn't really think this class was even going to be worth it. And coming in, seeing the guys doing as best they can, and the girls, and Lauren and Janine, and everybody else just pushing everybody. I mean, it was just incredible. You guys opened my eyes and put me in a better place and moved me forward. So thank you.
Okay, so are the cupcakes ready? Oh, sorry. Well, so day number 2 for Kenya, this is the original day number 2, started with, where is that new guy that sat in that seat? And the story was, well, the bus came to a stop and he jumped and ran out the door. But he came back. And when we did the memorization, got up here, and, you know, so, and, you know, it's the only guy that we have ever had of over 1,000 students that has 2 names that you can't really figure out what's his actual name.
Actually, I'd call WellCare to make sure I have the legal name.
Are you sure it's the legal name? Okay. So this is his actual name? It's not Keon? Okay, cool. That's good. But he's the only guy that we ever had that we just weren't sure which was his name, because he would say on Monday his name was Kenya, and then the next day it was Keon. And so that's kind of cool. But we can all agree that Kenya has made the class much more fun to come to every day.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said earlier, he makes me happy. And, you know, it's not really, you know, you ask, you know, 30 people out there, how would you like to spend 9 hours a day in prison? You know, no cell phone, you know, and how would you like to do that? Spend, you know, 10,000 hours in jail or prison. Most, you know, you take, you know, as Dr. Amory would say, you know, 29 10-year-olds, and it'd say probably not really fun. And so having coming here right after Florence McClure for this last week, and then, you know, other places, seeing Kenya here, who's happy when he's not sleeping or pretending he's sleeping. And in the last week, you know, since the other guys left, you've really stepped up your game. In fact, at WellCare, they talked about it today too in our meeting, is that how you really, it's kind of like the actual you is now coming forward when there's not the other people kind of pulling you back. So why don't you come up here, please?
Welcome to 2027.
They don't even have an election in 2027.
Oh, no.
We'll have a special one for you, though. There you go.
Oh my gosh, you know, I'm camera shy.
But no, I just want to thank the director. You know, I want to thank Lauren. You know, for just being there and sticking with me. You know, through the mud. You know, and getting on me at times when she need to get on me. And Andrew. He's amazing. You know, he gives you that push when you're feeling down, you know. And I like it because that they always got your back. You know, if you come to class and you're feeling down, they want to know what's the problem and how can we help you deal with it, you know. So when I first got in this class, like he said, I jumped off the van, you know. I had some things to do, you know. and at that moment I was like, man, you know, I'm not gonna go back to that class, you know. And my roommate, we kind of pushed each other to keep coming back here, you know. He gave me that, man, come on, we got to go to class. And I gave him that, man, come on, let's go to class.
Who was that?
Carl.
Oh, Carl. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Carl. So, you know, he's in Alaska. What's up, Carl? If you watch it, you know, he's in Alaska. He's doing this thing. And he took a lot from this class, you know. We used to be in a room talking about this class. Oh, there go endorphins, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's cool when you learn that this is really going to help you, you know. Like we talk about insanity a lot, you know. You can't expect to get a different result doing the same thing. So, you know, this class is very positive and it's very helpful, and it's all up to you. You're the only one that could make the decision whether you're going to do it or you're going to jump, you know. So I would like to say thank all you guys, you know, for laughing at my jokes, for supporting me. And thank you, Janine, too. I see you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, guys.
It looks like Janine just is ready to come up and say something. So let's see, Janine graduated, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
2 weeks ago, and now she's been out. Maybe she can share some thing.
Some things? I will try.
Okay.
I will try.
Hey, come on over.
I am so proud of all of you.
Thank you.
And you guys stuck with it, which is probably one of the hardest things to do, especially when you first come in here. And it's kind of difficult. And this guy doesn't make it easy, right? The TED Talks are so in depth. And then to talk about them and try to figure out what you're feeling when sometimes we don't even know, right? It's kind of complicated. But they've made it a little bit easier and help you to identify what you're thinking, what you're feeling, so you can relay that to everybody else. And you guys form a tribe of sorts, right? We're all in this tribe together. I graduated 2 weeks ago. I moved into the house about a week ago. Okay, Lauren's nodding. That means yes. About a week ago. And I start working on Monday. I'll be at the call center, and that'll be a new experience for me, but one that I am eager to try. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to, but I am excited to see and try something different because I've been kind of in the same thing for like 10 years. And I do agree with them where you don't know what you want to do or what you feel like you're passionate about if you're stuck in that same thing you have been doing. I may feel like after this 90 days, I really do love human resources. That's what I want to stick with. But to have this downtime to try to figure out what Janine can do best is phenomenal, right? How many times are you going to get that in your life? Not very often, because you have to keep on going, right? So stage 2, you're working, you're getting your education, and you're getting counseling, because we all ended up in this spot because we have some other things going on that we haven't really addressed yet, right? So working through all of those things are going to make you a better you. It's going to make you a better member of society and make you contribute more, not just to yourself and to other people, but to the people that are here with you. These are people you're going to help out too, right? So stick with it, the rest of you, okay? A few more weeks, you'll be done, right? And you'll be mentioned in so many speeches like I am too. And it's so wonderful to be so acknowledged and recognized. But I do have one more thing to say, and I will give it back to the director who's looking at me crazily side-eyed. You are the only person who can be in your own way, right? So we can have all the excuses in the world. At the end of the day, it comes down to you and what you want to accomplish. No one can take you off your path, only you, okay? Stay focused, do what you need to do, work it.
Thank you, Janine. So we've got Andrew, and then we're going to let Scott do the Michael Jordan part of wrapping it up. This is all the prelude to Scott. So Andrew, if you come up here, please.
Right on, Andrew.
Tell him something good.
We don't put it.
Man behind the
Good to see
scenes.
you.
Good to see
We love Andrew.
you. I'm so proud of everyone up here, or everyone up here who graduated today. I see a lot of, people that I lived with at the annex with. And you guys came up, did the program like I told you to. Get in it, do it. And you did it. So congratulations, guys that have graduated. Thank you for coming back and not hopping off the van the second time. This is a rewarding program. It really is. And people that have graduated that I work with at the call center, we are excelling. We are excelling. Not just me, not just one other person. Everyone that's graduated through this program at the call center is excelling. So that puts a challenge on you guys that are going to come work at the call center. You need to come with us. Not just kind of, go in, do your job, do your thing, but excel. Use this program, use what this program has taught you, and you will go far. And like Janine was saying, you're the only one that can get in your own way. I have a saying to that. Life's rewards go to those who let their actions rise above their excuses. So come with us and rise. And
Copy that.
Yeah. You guys will go far. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Andrew. And now we're going to call the prodigal son up, someone that was very good in CCDC. In fact, we taped a graduation in CCDC that Scott gave a very passionate, very good talk. It was kind of more like a testament, right?
Yeah.
And I think we'll go find that and make that available for everybody. So Scott, if you'd please come up and maybe talk a little bit about your journey.
Thank you so much, people. Congratulations to all of our graduates. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Outstanding work. Yes?
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Scott Mitchell. I am from Boston, Massachusetts, and from Las Vegas, Nevada. Spent the first 21 years of my existence in Boston. I was born, raised, and educated there. And I've spent my entire adult life as a proud Nevadan, Southern Nevadan. On August 15th, 2017, I went to the Clark County Detention Center, and in October, I took the Larson Job Skills Program for the first time and completed it. Due to some personal challenges that I encountered upon my release, unfortunately, I messed up really bad 79 days after my release, and was reincarcerated on a new charge. Got a very, very tough sentence from a very, very tough judge of 18 to 48 months, and I went to prison. Stayed in touch with the director and served my time, did 11 months down, and I've been out since the 4th of February, 2018, and I've rejoined the Larson Job Skills Program, for which I'm very, very blessed, I might add. I'd like to reference a few quotes that have landed particularly hard with me in terms of this program, things that I've learned in this program. World War II Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist Viktor Frankl stated that suffering ceases to be suffering when we are able to derive meaning from said suffering. So irregardless of what you're going through, and I did, if I could give some context, I did all of my time on the expressions what's on the yard, meaning no camp, no minimum custody, certainly no Casa Grande. So that's 22 hours a day, pretty much in your cell. With very little to read. It takes an act of Congress to get a book in the Nevada Department of Corrections. So all you have the time to do is think and live in one's connectome. And that's the part of our brain where we live in our past and we anticipate our future. And that's all there is to do at High Desert, folks, is think of better times and anticipate even better ones. So you think of everything you've learned, you reflect upon hopefully your offense, learning from it, and so on and so forth, which is what I utilize my time to do. If we could possibly summon the fortitude to find the opportunities that arise from all of our respective adversities, be they personal, be they, in some cases, professional. The personal ones I found are the most difficult, the ones that are hardest to grow from. A lot of work, very painful. But if you put one foot in front of the other, as difficult as that may be, especially on some days like the day before yesterday for me, you can grow. There is hope. There is hope. That is so important. The most important thing I've learned in this life, 47 and a half years thus far, is education. Because education equates to growth. And the day we stop learning should be the day we die. So thank you all so much for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. Good night.
Thank you, Scott. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, WellCare, for making this possible. I mean, it's their program. We just get to be, we're just lucky enough to be able to get here and do it. We're going to be moving next door in the next couple of weeks. We want everybody to continue stage 2 there. We'll be open from about 9 to 6 at night. And so when you're working, and we'll be open on weekends also. So there won't be any reason people can't continue stage 2 next door. And help us move forward. In any way we can have you involved, that would be great. So thank you, everyone. Let's give ourselves another round of applause. Thanks to the graduates. And for the other people who didn't graduate today, guess what you're going to be getting ready for next week?
Graduation.
You're now going to be the senior people in the class. So what does that mean? To you. To you. Okay, good. Okay, so somebody going to say cut?
Cut.
Okay.